50 Cent's baby mama just made some explosive claims that could completely change everything we thought we knew about their messy history. And she says she signed away her life out of pure fear. Shaniqua Tompkins is fighting back against a $1 million lawsuit, and the allegations she's making are absolutely wild. We're talking threats, intimidation, late-night hotel room confrontations, and claims that 50 Cent's late manager showed up with what she believed was a bodyguard to force her into signing a deal. Plus, she's bringing up old accusations about domestic violence, a mysterious house fire, and financial control. This story has layers, so buckle up because we're breaking down every single detail. Okay, so let's set the scene here. Shaniqua Tompkins dated 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, way back before he became the massive superstar we know today. We're talking late 1990s, early 2000s, before in the club, before he was everywhere. They have a son together named Marquise, who's now in his late 20s. Now, 50 and Shaniqua's relationship has been messy for years. We're talking public feuds, court battles, social media drama, the whole 9 yards. Their beef has been playing out in public for literally decades at this point. But this situation, this takes everything to a completely different level. In July 2025, G-Unit Books, that's 50 Cent's publishing company, filed a lawsuit against Shaniqua. They're claiming she violated something called a life rights agreement that she signed way back in 2007. And they're not playing around. They're seeking $1 million in damages, plus interest and legal fees. So what did Shaniqua actually do to trigger this lawsuit? Well, she posted videos in 2023 and 2025 where she talked about her past relationship with 50 Cent, and she didn't hold back. In one YouTube video from June 2025, Shaniqua made some seriously damaging allegations. She accused 50 of physically and verbally abusing her during her pregnancy with their son, Marquise, and throughout their entire relationship. These are not light accusations. We're talking about claims of domestic violence during pregnancy. But she didn't stop there. Shaniqua also brought up a 2008 fire that completely destroyed her Long Island home. And here's where it gets really dark. She suggested that 50 Cent might have been involved in that fire. She claims he was trying to evict her from the property at the time, and then conveniently the house burns down. Now, G-Unit Books is saying, hold up, you can't talk about any of this publicly because you signed away your rights to tell your own story back in 2007. This is where Shaniqua's defense gets absolutely explosive. She's not denying that she signed the life rights agreement in 2007. What she is saying is that she was forced to sign it under duress, meaning she was threatened and intimidated into signing something she never would have agreed to otherwise. In a sworn affidavit obtained by All Hip Hop, Shaniqua laid out some shocking claims. She says she was entirely financially dependent on 50 Cent at the time, and according to her, that wasn't by accident. She claims 50 forced her out of a real estate investment business, specifically to make sure she had no other source of income and no choice but to do what he wanted. But here's the part that's really getting people's attention. Shaniqua claims that 50's late manager, Chris Lighty, showed up at her hotel room in Las Vegas with a man she believed to be a bodyguard. Chris Lighty was a legendary music executive who managed 50 Cent until his tragic death in 2012. According to Shaniqua's filing, Lighty told her the agreement was non-negotiable. Let that sink in for a second. She's saying she was in a hotel room with 50's manager and another man being told she had to sign this agreement. Now, this is where it gets even darker. In her affidavit, Shaniqua claims that during this hotel room encounter, Chris Lighty told her she would suffer severe consequences if she didn't sign the agreement. She says, and I quote, "Fearing for my life and for my children's lives, I signed the agreement under extreme duress." Think about that for a moment. She's saying she believed her life and her children's lives were in danger if she didn't sign this document. That's not just business pressure, that's alleged threats and intimidation. Shaniqua further claims that Lighty warned her that 50 Cent would use his power, wealth, and public platform against her. At that point in 2007, 50 Cent was at the height of his fame and power in the music industry. We're talking about one of the biggest rappers in the world with massive influence. She says she had no meaningful choice and was intimidated to extract rights that she would never have surrendered freely. Basically, she's arguing this whole agreement should be thrown out because it was signed under threats, not as a legitimate business deal. And here's another interesting detail. The agreement allegedly promised Shaniqua $80,000 for signing away her life rights, but she claims she only received $35,000 and that G-Unit Books did not honor the agreement it now claims to enforce. So let me get this straight. They allegedly threatened her to sign, didn't even pay her the full amount they promised, and now they're suing her for $1 million for violating that same agreement? That's wild. In December 2025, G-Unit Books attorneys went for a default judgment after Shaniqua initially missed the September 10th deadline to respond. They're requesting a permanent injunction to stop her from talking about her life, plus that $1 million damages inquiry. 50 Cent's attorney Rena Jane released a statement saying that Jackson purchased these rights to preserve them for future biographical or autobiographical projects, but also because he was concerned that Tompkins would attempt to monetize their history and his name. The lawyer added, his concerns were ultimately proven correct. But here's the thing. If Shaniqua's allegations about how she was forced to sign this agreement are true, does that agreement even hold up in court? That's the million-dollar question. Literally. This case raises some serious issues about power dynamics, financial control, and whether someone can be held to a contract they claim they signed under threats. We'll be watching this one closely because the outcome could set some major precedents. What do you think? Do you believe Shaniqua's claims about being coerced, or do you think she's just trying to get out of a deal she regrets? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you're subscribed because we'll keep you updated as this legal battle unfolds. This is far from over.